All right, let's get into the stories right here on Y1025 FM as quickly as possible. I'm talking to you about transfers. Yes, it is transfer moment once again. Now, let's do this. We are beginning with stories emanating from that of Bournemouth Football Club. One player that has been mentioned is Dean Harrison, and he's a player that Real Madrid showed huge interest in from Bournemouth. Now, his coach is Andoni Iraola. Yep, that is the name of the gaffer. Andoni Iraola at the presser this weekend touched on the player Dean Harrison's professionalism in his move from Bournemouth to Real Madrid. According to the gaffer, he wishes the centre-back all the best, and also he was surprised that at his age, at 20 years, how he handled the matter. Showed a lot of professionalism whilst the news were all over.
Someone that is just 20, no? I think he has managed these situations quite well. I haven't noticed anything in training. He's the first one that wants to finish well the season. He's pushing and he's ready to play these two games. No, obviously from my side, you never want to lose, no, this kind of player, because he has been very good for us. But there is a part also that you feel happy for him, because he goes to Real Madrid. I think is what he really wanted to do. And obviously we hope everything goes well for him after these two games, and I think has been quite natural. He hasn't lost any training session. He has everyone also has I think has acted quite natural, and obviously for the club there was a chance that this could happen. And also it gives the club time now in the market also to prepare, no, for next season.
Andoni Iraola is the gaffer for Bournemouth. Now let's head into some other transfer stories, and we are beginning with Nottingham Forest, who are keen to tie down Morgan Gibbs-White and Callum Hudson-Odoi to new contracts as soon as possible. There are reports that Morgan Gibbs-White will be leaving the club, and there's interest from Manchester City as well as Manchester United. Callum Hudson-Odoi is also being reported to be a player of huge interest for clubs in Italy as well as in Germany. Away from that to other stories. Now, Napoli need a new centre forward for next season and are plotting a move for either Jonathan David or Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez, last week I did tell you that he's a player that might be leaving Liverpool, and that's the reason why Liverpool are looking for a striker. Victor Gyökeres has been mentioned. Now, if he leaves, that means he'll move in. For Napoli, Jonathan David is a free agent, and they are so keen on the player. They want to sign him at the end of the season so they can have him for the 2025-26 season. Now, away from that to Barcelona, and there are stories emanating from the camp of the La Liga champions. What's up there? Ansu Fati is in the news. Ronald Araujo is in the news. Fermin Lopez, Andres Christensen, Eric Garcia, and then Pablo Torre. According to sources in Spain, these players are reported to be the players that Barcelona will want to cash out on for some cash. They know that they have to sell players to earn, and these players have been tabled as the players that might be leaving the club. One that has raised a lot of concern is Fermin Lopez. According to sources in Catalonia, he's expected to stay, but this source is from Madrid that is relevant, and they are claiming that the player is supposed to leave the club this summer. Well, away from that into other stories on the transfer market as we continue. Now, Pedro Gonçalves is a midfielder for Sporting Lisbon. Manchester United gaffer in Ruben Amorim is in the news concerning the player. Amorim wants to sign some of the players from Sporting now because he feels that these are the players that he know the tactics of him, and he wants to make sure that he gets these players on board as soon as possible. Ousmane Diomande was mentioned. Victor Gyökeres was also mentioned. But, well, it looks like Manchester United are going in hard for Pedro Gonçalves. Away from that into other stories, let's talk about Erik ten Hag. He's the gaffer for former gaffer for that of Manchester United. Ajax are seriously considering reappointing Erik ten Hag as their head coach, as Farioli, their former gaffer, who left the club after they failed to win the Eredivisie, which they led by 9 points with 6 games to win the season. Now they've lost it. In the last game, PSV won, and they have been crowned champions. Ajax are not happy with that. Erik ten Hag is reported to be the coach who might be returning to that of Ajax Amsterdam. Now, Manchester United are close to sealing the transfer to sign Matheus Cunha. player who plays his football for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Still on Manchester United, Emiliano Martinez is a target for them. Barcelona are interested in Emiliano Martinez as they know that Wojciech Szczesny is expected to leave the club. Now, Emi Martinez is a goalkeeper who is attracting a lot of interest also from Saudi Arabia. So it is between Manchester United, Saudi Arabian clubs, and then clubs in that of Spain. Well, Barcelona to be specific. Away from that, Bryan Mbuemo from Manchester United. According to sources, United have made an offer of £50 million for Bryan Mbuemo, who has a year left in his Brentford contract. Away from that, two other stories. Aston Villa are also interested in Barcelona's Ferran Torres and are prepared to offer around £42 million for the forward. So these are all some of the transfer stories emanating from Europe. Well, Dusan Vlahovic is also in the news as Juventus have said that they will not extend his contract, which ends in 2026. Xabi Alonso has asked Real Madrid to renew Luka Modric for one final season as a personal request, and is expected he will stay with the club now. So that is also happening in that of Real Madrid and in Spain.